Welcome everybody. Today we're going to reassemble our WPL 54 Landcruiser 80 series. Just quickly run through the customization we did to it. As you can see on the sides we've got the bump trim, wheel arches have been painted, changed out the front grille to the typically Australian style, and that's about. We've also put a man in there, of course, as you can see. One of the key modifications we've made is we've put a motor with a gearbox. So we've cut all this area out and put a reduced speed gearbox in. So this is 680 RPM, and so it'll greatly increase our crawling ability. Also painted up the front bull bar and license plate, etc. and running boards, made them look a bit like aluminium. So we'll get all these bits put together and then we'll take it out for a bit of a run, see how it performs, especially with the low gearing we'll have with this new gearbox. So first we're going to reinstall the on-off switch. As you can see, I've slotted this out because the on-off switch used to travel here, and of course that had to be cut out to get the motor and gearbox in. So I've made a new slot here for the switch, so we'll get that remounted. Okay, so now we've got the switch mounted. Then I can remount the circuit board. First we'll just plug in the motor connection. Now we're good to go to install our circuit board. We did have two screws holding the circuit board in place before, but I've had to get rid of one of those as well because of the cutout for the larger motor. But one screw should be fine to hold this in place. Relatively clear of things. There we go. We've just got our battery connections now and our headlamps. Later we'll add some extra lights for the rear, and we'll put some headlights some lights into the driving lights as well. So before we go any further, I need to connect up my drive shaft so we can quickly clip our engine gearbox, our motor and gearbox out. Realign our drive shafts. Get those installed. Okay. What is nice about these gearboxes on the WPL is they do just clip into place. Obviously then we have screws again, but it can all be assembled, and you can see how it all looks before having to wrestle with the screws and so forth. So now we can see that the motor is in place and we can still access the on-off switch. A little bit more difficult to get to now than it was before, but at least it's mounted and accessible. So next part we'll reinstall will be the battery cover. It sits across here like so, and gives us our battery tray and so forth. Okay, so now we have the front battery tray in place and everything quite well secured. The headlights are sticking through, ready to go into the body when it comes into place. So now we can slip the body on. You can see here the two headlights, and we can slip those through later with a pair of tweezers and get them into the sockets. So that'll work out quite well. And to hold the body, we'll start with the two screws in the side here, and that holds everything pretty well intact. Okay, so now we have the essentials back in place. See here that the extra trimming and so forth down the sides and the black fenders have really improved the look of everything. Made it look a lot more authentic. We'll carry on now and put the side marker lights, tail lamps, roof bars on. We're not going to use a roof rack, and we'll put the bull bar on. So we have both panels installed here. So now we're going to install the running boards. And they actually slot into place quite nicely. They locate there, and then two screws per side. So we'll get those in. Flip it over and have a look how our running boards look. Okay, so now we've got the more aluminium look, which was original style, and I didn't point out before, we also chromed up or silver painted the door handles, and you can see there the side trim. That looks much more like an authentic body. So now we'll get to and put the bull bar on, and the side marker lights, tail lights, etc. You can see here there's 4 screws holding the bull bar on, so we'll get those in place. Okay, there we go. We now have the bumper bar the front bull bar installed with the license plate and so forth. Really starting to take on a bit of character now. So we'll just get the tail lights on. And as we covered before in the unboxing video, they're beautifully done actually. Nicely painted up and so forth. And they just quite a neat looking tail light. So later we intend to put some bulbs in those too, and also later I'd really like to get rid of this spare tyre, or the spare tyre off the rear, and the accessory number plate, but we're going to put that on for the moment because there's quite a bit of body work to take that away. So we'll get the last of these trim bits on and we'll take it out for a run. So just a quick review before we take it out for a run. We've got all our trim pieces on it now. Bull bar, headlights, driving lights are all trimmed up. Very nicely done with the mirrors and so forth. They've got a shiny piece of plastic to go in the back of them. That's all provided standard. And I've got the license plate frame on there. We use that temporarily, roof bars. So she's all ready to go for a run. So let's take it out and see what it'll do.